Let's go.
Welcome to the Top of Your Game podcast with Dr. Floyd. The show is dedicated to helping you grow, thrive, and do your best work. Dr. Floyd believes there's greatness within you, and the show is designed to help you live your dream, do your best work, and leave a legacy. Now, here's Dr. Floyd.
Welcome to another episode of the Top of Your Game podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Floyd. Now, today's episode might surprise you. We're talking about boredom. Yes, boredom. Something we usually try to escape at all cost. But here's the twist. Boredom might actually be the key to greater happiness, deeper creativity, and even a stronger sense of purpose. So let me ask you, when was the last time you were truly bored? No phone in your hand, no Netflix running in the background, no scrolling on Instagram, no emails, no podcast, just you and your thoughts. Now, for many of us, the honest answer is we can't even remember. Now, today I want to unpack why boredom is not only good for you, but essential. Yes, boredom is not only good for you, but it's essential. We're going to talk about why breaking your phone addiction is step one to rediscover boredom. How the lack of boredom is actually fueling depression, and how boredom stimulates a powerful quest for meaning. By the end of this episode, I think you'll never look at boredom the same way again. Now, let's start with this. Why do we hate boredom so much? Yes, why do we hate boredom so much? You see, we live in the most stimulated generation in history. Yes, we live in the most stimulated generation in history. At any given moment, you've got a universe of entertainment, distraction, and information right in your pocket. Now, think about it. 20 years ago, if you were waiting at the doctor's office, you'd just wait. Maybe flip through an old magazine. Now, the second we feel that tiny pinch of boredom, we grab our phone and boom, the boredom disappears. But here's the thing. Boredom isn't an enemy. No, boredom isn't an enemy. It's a signal. It's your mind's way of saying, I'm ready for something more meaningful. Now, studies have shown that when people allow themselves to be bored, their brains actually shift into a mode called default network processing, This is when you make connections, spark new ideas, and tap into creativity. It's the space where aha moments are born. So instead of running from boredom, what if we embrace it? What if we saw boredom as a pathway, not a problem? Now, here's the tough truth. We don't get bored anymore because we don't allow ourselves to. And the number one culprit, our phones. The average person touches their phone over 2,600 times a day. Yes, the average person touches their phone over 2,600 times a day. Let that sink in for a moment. That's thousands of micro moments where we don't allow our minds to just sit still. Every time Every time we feel boredom creeping in, we check, scroll, swipe, and refresh. But what's the cost? Now, constant stimulation means your brain never gets the reset or the rest it needs. It never wanders. And when it can't wander, it can't create, it can't reflect, and it can't reset. Now, here's what's even scarier. Researchers are linking the lack of boredom with rising levels of depression and anxiety. But why? Simply because when we numb ourselves with endless distraction, we never process our real thoughts, our real emotions, or our real questions. We just bury them under the noise. And here's a practical challenge for you. Here's a practical challenge for you. Try leaving your phone in another room while you eat dinner. Try driving without music or podcast on. Try standing in a line without pulling your phone out. Notice what happens. At first, you feel restless, but if you push through that, you'll start to notice your thoughts. You might even notice your feelings. That's the beginning of real self awareness. That's the beginning of real self awareness. So, how does being bored actually make you happier? Here's the paradox. Now, happiness isn't just about feeling good in the moment, it's about living a meaningful life. And boredom, when you sit with it, pushes you toward meaning. Think about it. When you're bored, your mind starts searching. What matters to me? What do I want to create? What do I want to use my time to do? So, boredom sparks curiosity. It pushes you to explore, to learn, to connect, and to grow. Yes, boredom helps you to grow. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history happens because someone allowed themselves to be bored long enough to wander into new ideas. Einstein used to say that he got his best ideas while daydreaming. Steve Jobs was famous for long walks, often alone, just thinking. So, boredom is the soil where creativity and purpose take root. When you lean into that, happiness follows. Let's talk about something deeper. The lack of boredom isn't just robbing us of creativity, it's robbing us of our joy. We've got rising rates of depression around the world, especially among young people. Yes, depression is on the rise, especially among the young people. And one reason is this: constant distraction doesn't give your brain the chance to reset. You see, we're living in what I call the endless scroll. And when every moment is filled with stimulation, you lose the ability to sit with yourself. But here's the power of boredom. When you sit with it long enough, it forces you to confront the deeper questions of life. Yes, boredom forces you to confront the deeper questions of life. Questions like, what really matters to me? What am I here for? What's the biggest story of my life? In other words, boredom isn't just about doing nothing. No, boredom isn't just about doing nothing. It's about awakening a quest for meaning. And meaning is the antidote to depression. Yes, meaning is the antidote to depression. When you live with meaning, even hard times don't crush you. You've got direction. You've got purpose. And it often starts with a moment of quiet, a moment of stillness, a moment of boredom. So, how do you actually do this? How do you build boredom back into your life in a way that helps instead of frustrates? Let me share with you 3 practical steps. Step number 1, phone fasting. Set specific times when you put your phone away. Yes, set aside specific times when you put your phone away. Maybe it's the first 30 minutes after you wake up or the hour before bed. Just give your mind the chance to wander. Number 2, schedule nothing. Schedule nothing. Block time in your calendar where you literally do nothing. No tasks, no entertainment, no agenda. Just sit, take a walk, or stare out the window. Let your mind breathe, if you will. Number 3, single tasking. Now, instead of multitasking, do one thing and only one thing. Eat without a screen. Walk without earbuds. Drive without the radio. It will feel strange at first, but you'll start to feel more present and more alive. The goal isn't boredom for boredom's sake. The goal is to create space. And in that space, you'll find clarity, peace, and yes, you'll find happiness. So let's wrap this up. Being bored makes you happier because it gives your brain space to create, reflect, and search for meaning. Breaking your phone addiction is the first step. Without boredom, depression often follows. But with boredom, you awaken curiosity, creativity, and you also awake purpose. So maybe boredom isn't something to run from. Maybe it's something to lean into. Because on the other side of boredom is brilliance. Now, if this episode challenged you, I want you to share it with a friend who might need to hear it, who might need to hear this message about the benefits of boredom. And remember, you weren't born to just survive. You were born to thrive and live an unstoppable life. So thank you for tuning in today. Until next time, live your dream, do your best work, and leave a legacy. Let's get after it.
Let's go.